Hello. Sometimes I think we just need to stop for just a moment and just reflect about others, kind of think about them. And the news in recently about the situation in Afghanistan. Honestly, it tears my heart out. Regardless of how you feel about the politics involved or the foreign policy or any of that, if you just think about the folks, the common folks, you know, they are going through a living hell. And I'm going to say that the vast majority of those people, they just want to live. They just want to raise their families and get along. Now, Sandy and our kids, they're grown and gone. But this is the time of year that the school kids are headed back to school, and I think it's so nice to see the young ones that school's still new to them, and their faces all smiley and shiny, and they're happy, they're excited, and of course the mamas are excited too, maybe for a different reason. But anyway, it's not that way in Afghanistan right now. I mean, what these folks are going through, in my mind, is unbelievable. I don't think any of us can really appreciate what they're going through. And when we hear about people suffering a long way away, it's hard to identify with them because it's so far away. We just can't really wrap our arms around it. And then the folks out west, these incredible wildfires. I mean, I can't imagine the size of these wildfires. And these folks are losing everything, and there's loss of life there too. Or the flash flood over in Tennessee. At last count, I just checked, there was about 21 dead. For those of us in Michigan, all of these seem so distant. Yet, I talked to a friend in Western North Carolina last night, and he was telling me that he just lost a close relative, someone who was close to him, in a flash flood in Western North Carolina. And so suddenly the hurt and the pain and the loss gets really personal. It touches us. But yet our news media just bombards us with all these stories of violence and destruction and misery. And I think we become numb to the condition of our neighbors, especially those in faraway places. And so I invite you to pray each day and just think about the people I've mentioned, whether Afghanistan out west, or the people in the flash floods, or others that you're aware of, or perhaps for whatever reason touch your heart a little bit more. And just ask God to intervene. Ask God to provide comfort and strength for them, and ask God to motivate people to go to their aid. Now, if you're listening to this and you're not a religious person, I would still ask you to take a moment. Just take a moment and stop and reflect and just think about these people that are suffering and struggling in such a devastating way, or a catastrophic way. And then, just for a short moment, reach out your hand to them. Never mind how it works. Just send that message of compassion from your mind to theirs, and take that moment. But if you are a religious person, I ask that you pray, that you talk to God and say, God, we don't know what to do. Help us to feel their pain. Help us to feel compassion for them, and help us pray for them. Now, I think we should also help our neighbors in a material way. Now, we Methodists have an organization called Core, and they are the Committee on Relief. They do disaster response work domestically and internationally. The Red Cross does great work. Most denominations have some organization set up that's intended to help others. And so, however you choose to help, I'd urge you to give a contribution to one of those, or whichever one is that you resonate with, and give a contribution towards disaster response. And I ask this because I'm trying to do a better job of caring for our neighbor, because at Kalamo, one of our core values is caring for our neighbors. We feel that God helps us in many ways and then calls for us to care for all of our neighbors, whether they be near or far. At Kalamo, we ask questions, we share our doubts and our concerns so that we can grow. We can grow in wisdom and grow in the love of God and lead happier, more constructive lives. Check us out at Kalamo. I'd love to talk with you. I'm your neighbor, Jerry. I'm pastor at Kalamo Church. Take care, see ya, and bye for now.